Joe Volpe, publisher of Corriere Canadese, North America's only Italian-language daily newspaper, here on behalf of Go Live TV, Corcan Media Group, and of course Corriere Canadese, and all of our social media. Today's comment has to do with all the issues that we are now becoming very familiar with, and it has to do with the multi-billion engineering giant SNC Lavalin and the problems it's creating, or its issue is creating for the government of Canada. That's our comment. SNC Lavalin scandal is like the eruption of a nest of parasites that has been feeding within our political and societal body politic for far too long. All Canadians are touched and affected by it, revealing a culture of bribery and corruption, a national disgrace that now defines us all, even if it seems to come from a particular geographic part of the country, at least when it comes to the big bucks. It's not new. Our political overseers, unfortunately, justify or excuse illegal, unethical, or immoral behavior in the name of safeguarding jobs. Hogwash. No one gets elected in the name of tolerating or indeed promoting a culture of excessive cupidity that works to the detriment of collective values and goals that we nurture as the foundation stones of our society and our culture. There's a reason why we don't accept the notion that ill-gotten gains have a place in our society. We strive for the rule of law, due process, respect for human dignity, and the rights of others to enjoy the same privileges that we demand for ourselves. The concept of might is right is inimical to those values and ingrains abuses against the weaker, more vulnerable amongst us. In the past, we chose to protect ourselves with a wall of probity, sometimes damaged, but always respected, even by those beyond our borders whose ethic might be more tolerant. Perhaps it's a tad Boy Scoutish, but it helped us discipline ourselves. Our laws govern our behavior abroad as well. In the 1990s, we collectively enacted legislation that criminalized convictions for participating or encouraging sex tourism with minors or unconsenting adults. In essence, sex slavery. In other words, you would be guilty here if you committed that crime, irrespective of where it took place. That principle applies to business practices as well. Companies whose aggressive lobbying crosses the line into outright bribery, graft, erode our democratic rights, undermine the rule of law, and lead to the exploitation of people. SNC Lavalin has profited mightily from its activities in political hellholes like Libya, like Bangladesh, and even Brazil, while engaging in practices that we would not tolerate in Canada. It's not clear whether companies like SNC Lavalin generate the social conditions in these countries that we rightly deplore, or whether they merely exploit a fetid situation for market gain. What are clear and abominable conditions under which local populations are forced to endure? If SNC Lavalin and others are allowed to escape their moment of scrutiny and accountability because someone here interfered with the judicial process. We have transferred that responsibility then onto us. In normal circumstances, if an interested party were to intervene with a judge on a matter before him or her outside the courtroom, that individual would be charged with obstruction of justice. That's what lies at the base of the Judy Wilson-Raybould case. As former Minister of Justice and Attorney General for Canada, she apparently refused to to be persuaded by any consideration that did not emanate from a trial where facts, proven or disputed, would survive the light of examination. Good for her to resist. Joe Volpe for Corriere Canadese, Corcan Media Group, and Go Live TV, inviting you to stay tuned after these commercials for the commentary in Italian and subsequently in Portuguese.